Started talking a little bit about this in the last video, but what I want to focus on here is basically one of my favorite types of foundational links to do on a new domain to signal authority and trust. And in this case, we're talking about form backlinks, and not just any form backlinks, because 99% of form backlinks are trash. So don't just run off from this video and go, purchase Google form backlinks, buy form backlinks, and chase those. Definitely do not do that. Um, Contextual, relevant, high traffic are a few of the factors, right? Let's take a look here. Um, Decent names, right? There's nothing like ABCD123 subdomain dot blah 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 dot China or CN or dot whatever random ass country. These are all .coms, .nets, good sites. There's a couple that are on subdomains, but the subdomains make sense. Forms, and campgrounds. I mean, I'm not familiar with this one, but rvlife.com. We know RV life is like a pretty decent like keyword just off the top of our head. Even if you know like nothing about RVs, you can kind of immediately conclude that like that's a decent domain that's actually worth money. And so they've probably been around for a while. They probably have decent traffic. They probably have a decent of a lot of things, a lot of users. Oh, and look at that. The traffic is over 500,000 a month. Excuse me. And so what I want to talk about is, so if foundational links, and if you're starting a business, a local business, of course, like citations are pretty popular. They're not going to rank you. Good content's going to rank you, but you need to get some links out there to signal a little bit of relevance to get you indexed. Because right now, indexing has never been harder. Years ago, you could make a site, throw some pages up, and it would get indexed so easily. Been doing this since '09, so I do remember the very, very easy days. And now, not people in SEO anymore. The amount of info that's for free available on YouTube is crazy. I see some guys out there with tens or hundreds of thousands of subscribers just talking about SEO, which is crazy how big the niche has become. But that's beside the point. So off topic. We're kind of sidetracked here, but starting a local domain, citations are pretty popular. Profiles in general, any type of profile, like a social media profile, making a Twitter account. I mean, things like that signal legit business. Even though maybe tweeting a link isn't going to add that much SEO strength or link juice, but definitely having a profile versus not is certainly something to take note and consider. And so profiles are number two. But if you don't have a local business, citations aren't really, you can do them, but it's kind of the wrong signal. If it's like a blog, you don't have an address, you don't have a phone number, you can definitely do them, but I don't know if the value is really there. You want to think about what your site is and what's expected by it. What would Google expect of a business of that type if you were a good business? And so citations are a big thing. Getting mentioned in like local news sites would be big, right? If you're a contractor in Dallas, sponsor an event, boom, get in the news. Things like that are huge signals. So that like local topical relevance of where you're located, citations, things like that. So if you're a blog, a little bit different. I don't want to say more or less options, but definitely some different options. So if you're a blog and you're trying to become an authority, you want people to talk about you. Socials are one way, but forums are another. And like I said, not just any forums, decent forums that have some metrics like what we're looking at here on the screen now. So people talking about you from aged accounts, you don't want to just go make a brand new account. I'm not talking about form profiles either. Form profiles pretty useless. I'm not saying there isn't a use for them. It's better than nothing, I guess. But don't go to Fiverr and buy 5,000 or even 100 form profiles. That's just not natural. That's just kind of ridiculous. Googling, whatever, boats. Let's say we're in the niche of boating, right? Like boating forums. Throw that in on Google. You might find some fishing forums. You might find some wake surfing, some wakeboarding forums. You'll find some forums that are related to certain boat makes like Malibu or Ski Nautique or things like that. registering on those, getting some form profiles up, it makes sense, but there's no need to hire a VA to do it because a new site just they wouldn't scale that. That's just not natural to go out and just have 30 form profiles on a brand new domain. Getting involved in conversation, registering, using your brand name and your username for like 3 accounts on decent forums, like literally the top 3 forums on Google, not some, random forums that are on page 10 or worse. But decent, relevant forums, signing up, throwing your username or your URL in your profile, and then just contributing to the conversation. Get 50 or 100 posts. Like getting an account with no posts and throwing your link in, yeah, Google's going to crawl it. They're probably not going to index it. It's definitely not going to do anything for you. 1 or 2 posts, a little bit better, but not that much better. It really makes Google wants to see your commitment in the niche, and then also you demonstrating that your authority in the space. And so, of course, your own website's content is like the start of that, but there's also signals outside of your own domain. So, anyways, a little bit about form profiles and form links and what not to do. You don't necessarily have to put a link in every single post either. But the ideal situation would be that 10 years ago, you registered some form profiles in your niche, and you can just kind of go in there, and you already have, like I said, the age, you have a number of posts already, and you can just go in there and pop in your link into a post, into a thread, not making a new thread, because again, it's going to get deleted by any decent moderation team. And if a moderation team is not deleting posts, then you really got to question yourself: is this form link worth anything? Because Google really cares about links that are moderated, which is why if Wikipedia was do follow, the value would be so massive. Because only good sites can get links from Wikipedia, right? Like you can go on Fiverr and Upwork and hire someone, but most of it gets deleted eventually. Might not get deleted in 30 days, but a lot of those guys only have 30-day warranties because they know what happens after 30 days. Like you get into 6 months, 12 months down the line, not everyone can have a Wikipedia page. You can get one up, you can create one, and it'll live for a few hours. But then the fact that Wikipedia no follows this, you could really argue are no follow links worthless? I mean, there is a place for them, but really consider what are some other domains that you can build links where it has that same idea, but do follow, right? Where you can, it's still worth getting the no follow link, but you really want to focus, of course, on those do follows. I hate saying that because I usually cater this channel to intermediate and advanced SEOs, but on the simplest levels is for sure you're looking for the do follow links. And so let me think here 1 second. Okay, so in a second, I'm going to show you a recent service that I use that I liked quite a bit. And actually, let's just show it right now. So this is a service. I'm not being paid to promote them by any means. This is just the type of service that I use that I honestly just wish I saw more of, because there's so many crap services out there anymore. I get so sick of needing something and having to filter through dozens and dozens and dozens of garbage. It's just so much garbage in the SEO space when it comes to links. And so when I find something that works, you guys know me, I like to call it out on my channel. And I'm going to talk more about some of the other ones I tested as well in the future, but this is something I'm quite happy with. And so the price is $10 a link. Pretty expensive for a form link, but understand what you're getting behind this. You're getting aged people with basically clout. Their account is from, when I test this, I got some stuff as old as 2006. You can't just register and wait whatever how many years it's been since 2006. Is that, oh boy, not quite 17 years. I don't know. Anyways, less than 20 years, but still more than 10. No one wants to wait 10 years to get a decent quality backlink. So going to these services that have these age profiles in their possession is huge. So the first one is $100 to get started. It's 10 links for $100. Turnaround time, yeah. Minimum 5 do follow links, 2-3 links a day. Yeah, this was pretty much all spot on. I think I got actually 7 or 8. They gave me some bonus links as well because some will get deleted. But really, I wish this service was way more popular. They call it crowd marketing or like crowd links or crowdo links. Sometimes they put an O on the end of it. I don't know if that's any. I don't know if they're actually in Brooklyn, New York. But anyways, um, yeah, I just want to give these guys a shout out. I've used them. I like them. I'm going to continue to use them. I suggest you try them if you're looking for some basic foundational links that signal topical relevance in your space. Might get some traffic, but that's not really what I would suggest you. The traffic will be quite low, but that's the idea of a quality link. A quality link should have a chance at bringing you traffic. You don't, a blog post with 1,000 comments on it, throwing your blog post on there with or blog comment on there to be the 1,000th and 1,000th and 1st. I don't even know how I would say that, but thousands of plus comments, and you add yours into the pile, it's not going to get traffic. And so at the end of the day, it's also pretty worthless. SEO is going to think, Google's going to think a similar thought, I guess. And so that's just what I wanted to talk about here is encouraging, similar to how Wikipedia moderates links. What other sites can you get links on that maybe anyone can create on, but only the good ones are going to stick? Forums are a great example. Reddit is another example. Quora is another example. They're obviously both kind of in the forums category. But what else? Social media, not really a good example, right? Anyone can blast stuff on their social media pages. If it's someone decent, I guess it does have some level of like moderation behind it, but not really a good example. I don't really think that. I don't know. It's hard to. I haven't tested it. If like a page with 100,000 likes and they post you versus a page with 1,000 likes, does it actually, like, is there a ranking difference there? Anything? I've scaled back a lot of my tests just because of some of the larger budgets I'm working with now, which is kind of like back when I was younger in my teenage years when I was on a smaller budget. I would test things more independently and carefully, but now it's just like there's so many things going on at once with any given domain, like 10 things going on. I just can't slow down enough to test some of that stuff carefully. And so I can't really speak to that social media example. But anyways, the idea with Wikipedia is that if it was do follow, there would be massive value because there's people that are moderating it. And that helps with any backlink. If anyone get that backlink, I would really question, is it worth anything? But one last thing, if you're looking at a list of domains, I like to take the traffic and look at the ratio between traffic here and then the linked domains. And you just want to find what has like the least amount of linked domains to the most amount of traffic. So you can do domains divided by traffic, and then look for the smallest number possible, smallest ratio, or vice versa, and then look for the largest ratio. So, but other than that, consider some decent form links, getting involved in discussions. A brand new domain, you definitely don't want to do more than 10. But any decent blog is going to have a series of people talking about how amazing the content is, and linking to tutorials and things in that space. If it's hyper relevant, that's the best situation where someone's talking about how do I fix this exhaust problem on my Camaro, and then you find a thread in that, like, talking about exhaust, and then you have a blog post exactly on how to fix that. Like, that's perfect. Even if whatever the URL rating, the UR is 0 or whatever, it's just a perfect matchup, and it's going to signal so much quality and relevance to Google. That EEAT or whatever that acronym is. I think it used to be EAT, and now they add another E in front or something. But anyways, that's all from me. I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you in the next one.